Hey everybody, it's a bonus video! I have always been inspired by the Vlogbrothers. And when I was in Rouen last weekend, I decided to kind of make a Vlogbrothers-inspired Thoughts from Places video. Rouen is a very special place in my heart because during the fall semester of my junior year in college, I studied abroad there. It was also a place where my knowledge of the French language and culture grew even more. When I was in Rouen, I decided to go around the city and get footage of places in the city that have some meaning to me, and I would like to show them to you now. This is Place Colbert in Mont-Saint-Aignan, where I would have classes with other St. Lawrence students. Not far from there is Lily Pasta. It's a pasta to-go place where I would have lunch all the time, especially when I studied abroad. Right here, this is the Musée des Beaux-Arts, where I had my art history classes. Right here, this is the square across from the Musée des Beaux-Arts. Sometimes when I studied abroad, I just like to sit in the park and watch the swans. This is the bus stop where I would go to take the bus to my host home. This is the bookstore where I heard Antoine de Maximi talk about his show J'irai dormir chez vous, and I got his autograph. This is the cafe near the Musée des Beaux-Arts where I would go with my classmates before or after art history class. This is a part of the city where I would like to take walks by myself sometimes. There are lots of shops and cafes around here. Over there, my classmates and I would sometimes get a crepe before art history class. Right here along this street, 2 years ago, I finally got a pair of boots after telling my classmates about it for a whole semester. This is the Rouen Cathedral. One of my classes, we talked about Gothic cathedrals, so I spent a lot of time at this cathedral and also at other cathedrals throughout Rouen. This is Rue Gros Horloge, and it's one of my favorite streets in Rouen. There are shops and a few restaurants along here, and it was one of the places where I liked to go whenever I took a walk by myself in the city. This is my favorite candy store in Rouen. This place has a used bookstore, a tea shop, and a cafe upstairs, and I used to come here all the time. This is the first cafe that I ever went to in Rouen. This is Place Saint-Marc, and here they have one of my favorite markets in the entire city. Fruits, vegetables, meals, everything. This is the Etre Saint-Maclou, and it was one of the first places I ever saw in Rouen. It's an ancient cemetery grave where people were buried after the plague. And you can tell because here you can see skulls and crossbones on the wall. Now it is an art school. This is the Abbatiale Saint-Ouen, and it's one of my favorite churches in Rouen. I absolutely love coming here. And you can see across the street is O'Callaghan's Bar. I came here when I studied abroad and also with other teaching assistants this year. Not far from Rue Gros Horloge is the Vieux Marché and the Église Sainte-Jeanne d'Arc, the Joan of Arc Church. Here at the Vieux Marché, it is where Joan of Arc was burned at the stake. You may remember earlier from one of my videos, I was here during the food festival. It looks completely different with all of these markets set up. It is the place where Joan of Arc was burned at the stake. She is my favorite saint, so to go to a place that is a part of her story is absolutely incredible to see. Walking around Rouen and getting footage of all these places definitely brings back memories from the time when I studied abroad on the St. Lawrence program, and now that I've been here in France for 7 months, it definitely feels good to go back and visit all the places that are special to me. I love Rouen with all of my heart. Thank you so much for watching this bonus video. À bientôt!